Here are 10 easy camera effects you can create in After Effects. Number 1 is super easy, it's screen pump. Baseball clip on the timeline. I'm going to go to a frame where the bat just about meets the ball here. Press S on my keyboard, keyframe the scale, press P on my keyboard, keyframe the position. Press U on my keyboard to bring up the keyframes. What I'm going to do is highlight those keyframes, shift them about 3 frames to the left. And then on the frame 1, I'm just going to zoom in a bit on the scale and just shift it so we're a bit closer in on the action like this. And then just highlight those first keyframes we made, Control C, move 2 frames forward, Control V. So then we can highlight all those keyframes, right click, keyframe interpolation, Bezier, speed graph editor. And then we can change the velocity on these velocity arms, going from slow to fast like this. And voila, there we have it, a screen pump effect. Number 2 is whip pan. Creates a super quick, easy transition. Right click, new, adjustment layer. Right click the adjustment layer, time stretch, 10. Gonna move the adjustment layer to where the 2 clips cross. In the effects and presets, search for an effect called offset and apply that to the adjustment layer. And then also fast box blur. I'm gonna keyframe shift center 2 and the blur radius. And then I'm gonna move to the penultimate frame of the adjustment layer, second to last. And then whatever the value is on the shift center 2, you're just going to do minus. So mine's 1920, so I'm going to do minus 1920. And that does a full cycle of this movement. If we press U on our keyboard as well, I'm going to keyframe the blur radius again with the same value. But where the 2 clips overlap, I'm going to set the blur radius to 200. And then on the blur dimensions, whichever way we want it to pan, we can change it to that. I want it to do a whip pan horizontally, so I'm going to do horizontal. Highlight all the keyframes, right click, keyframe interpolation, Bezier. And the shift center 2, if we highlight that and go to the speed graph editor, we get these velocity arms. Drag them both down. And then we're just going to make a sharp camel hump, so it goes from slow to fast in the middle like this. And voila, a seamless whip pan. Number 3 is reverse effect. It can be done in a few clicks, great for creative transitions. Here, if we just right click, go time reverse layer, and then it plays backwards. If we want to take it a step further, we can just undo that. What we can do is find a moment in the clip, so like when she brushes her hair behind her ear, and then we can do Command Shift D to slice the clip. Go time reverse layer, and then press bracket to bring it up to speed, and then shift it 1 frame over so the clips are aligned. And then we can just extend the remainder of the clip and then slice it here. So now we go from normal motion to reverse. Voila, there we have it. Add a bit of shake with number 4 with the handheld camera effect. Go to an effect called wiggle. Apply wiggle position to the clip. And the default values actually give us quite a nice handheld look. If you want it a bit more extreme, you can increase the speed, maybe to a 2, and the pixels to about an 80. Bit more of an intense wiggle. But I actually quite like the default values. It feels a bit like a documentary. To fix these black borders on the edges where the clip is cropped, we're just going to add a simple transform. And we can just scale it up until we lose those black edges. And scrub through your clip just to make sure there's no black edges. And if you're happy with it, voila. Number 5 is stabilization. Smooth out shaky footage. So if we go to the effects and presets, search warp stabilizer, apply that to the clip, it will start analyzing. And then once that's finished analyzing, the default values are smooth motion at 50% with subspace warp. The thing with subspace warp, it starts bending the image a bit. This is appropriate for some clips, but for this particular clip, because there's a lot of camera movement, I'm going to go for position, scale, and rotation, and just tone it down a bit to about 35%. And voila, that looks a lot better for me. You can increase the strength, and you can also play around with the method. So to me, this is looking pretty clean. And voila. Number 6 is lock tripod. Removes all camera movement to give you a nice static frame. Warp stabilizer. Apply it to the clip. Change smooth motion to no motion. And leave the method on subspace warp. And the framing to stabilize, crop, and auto scale. It will analyze. And voila, once it's finished analyzing, you'll see that the shot is now completely static. Number 7 is rack focus. Shift focus between subjects for cinematic reveals. Go to effects and presets, type in camera lens blur, apply it to the clip, And then on frame 1, we're just going to increase the blur radius around 67. Keyframe it and then move to about 1.5 seconds in. Just type 0. And if we press U on our keyboard, we can see the keyframes. If you're going for a clean sort of fashion look, then this works perfectly well. But what you can do to make it look a bit more gritty, maybe if you're doing a documentary, is after the final keyframe, you can ramp up the radius a tiny bit as well, and then just copy and paste that other keyframe afterwards again, so it looks like a cameraman is actually sort of searching for the subject. Number 8 is wide lens effect. Great for dream sequences and stylized visuals. Effects and presets, and just type in optics compensation, apply that to the clip, and then we're going to take a reverse lens distortion, and then we're just going to crank up the field of view to about 90. And voila, there we have it. Number 9 is split screen effect, or stylized cinema. Go up to the pen tool, and I'm just going to draw a cool sort of cartoony split screen. So shape 1, click off it, and then draw shape 2. And I'm going to leave a nice black line in the middle. And once we've got our two shapes like this, I'm going to drag both my clips of a model onto the timeline, and using the select tool, I'm just going to adjust them. I'm going to scale this one up here so it sort of covers the bottom half like this, and then scale up the top one as well. And then on the track mat, if you don't see it, just toggle the switch mode down here. And on the track mat, just select each shape for the clips like so. And it's great because once they're sort of snapped into the clip, we can adjust it further if we need to scale it up. And voila, there we have it, a cool split screen effect. And finally, number 10 is the miniature city effect. Shrink down your footage into a macro world. Command D to duplicate it. And then I'm going to go up to the shape tool up here, the ellipse tool, and just draw a circle around the region that we want to be in focus. And then I'm going to go to effects and presets, and I'm going to apply camera lens blur. Drag and drop that on. The area's gone blurry in the middle, so what we're going to do is we're going to invert it. And now the rest of the image is blurry. We're going to increase the blur radius. So now the surrounding area is a bit more intense, to about somewhere between 18 and 20. And because it's a bit strong, I'm just going to press F on the mask to bring up the mask feather, and I'm going to increase the feather. So the transition between what's in focus and out of focus is a bit softer. And if the mask is a bit too tight around the region, we can also go to the mask expansion. Just expand it out a bit. Just keep increasing that feather and expansion. That's working pretty well. Now, as the camera's moving slightly, what we want to do is click the mask, go to Window, Tracker, and then if we go to frame 1, we can track the position, scale, and rotation. We can just analyze forward like this. Okay, so now that our mask is tracked, we got this nice glued mask to the lighthouse and the rock, so it's sort of staying in position. It looks absolutely beautiful. If we want to go a step further, just to really sell the effect, what I'm going to do is actually Command D and duplicate the bottom layer, and then we're going to bring that on top here, and we're just going to do the same effect again, and we're just going to draw a mask, but this time make it wider, and we just want to get a vignette around the edges to really push that camera lens blur to its limits. And again, we're just going to invert the mask. And then this time, we're just going to ramp it up a bit further. Maybe to something around 30. Let's take the risk, why not? And then we're going to, again, do the same again. Click the mask F to bring up the feather. Use the drop-down menu. I'm just going to feather it out, just so it's not too sharp and crazy, the contrast. Make it bleed into the frame, and just click off the mask to see if that's something you like. If it's a bit too crazy, you can just always turn it down. And there we go, voila. These effects are super easy to apply and just really elevate your work to make it pop. So hopefully you can walk away today with at least one of those in your library. If you found any of these effects inspiring or useful, then subscribe to Astrella for daily After Effects.